random junk from the archives.
Now, 250,000 men are affected by prostate cancer every year in the UK, and 1 in 7 worries about getting it. Only half of those who are anxious about prostate cancer, though, will actually take themselves to a doctor for a checkup.
Why is that so? Well, the prostate cancer charity wants to change it. It's campaigning to make people more aware of the disease. So, yeah, to Dave Prowse, best known as the original Darth Vader, also the Green Cross Code Man, was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2009. He joins us this morning. Lovely to see you, Dave.
Good morning.
Thanks very much for coming in. And Owen Sharp's here, who's Chief Executive of the Prostate Cancer Charity. Dave, when you were diagnosed in 2009, did you have any symptoms? Did it come as a surprise?
No inkling whatsoever. No. My brother had a prostate first, and we organised a charity golf tournament, in aid of the prostate charity, and we raised about £1,000 for the charity, and I presented the cheque to the lady from the prostate cancer charity, and she said to me, "Have you ever been tested?" And I said, "No, I'm perfectly all right, thank you very much, there's nothing wrong with me." And so then she said, "Well, all men over 50 ought to be tested." And so the next time I went to see my doctor, I said, "Oh, do me a favour, can you give me a chit to go and get a blood test done?" Had the blood test done. Next thing I know, they've called me up and said that we want to do a biopsy. And they did the biopsy, took 12 samples, and then came back and they said, "Well, 10 of the samples that you had were suspicious. In other words, you've got prostate cancer."
Gosh.
And so they said, "How do you want it treated?" And I said, "Well, what's the options?" And I opted to go for the radiotherapy, and so I had 39 sessions of radiotherapy at the Royal Marsden Hospital in Sutton, and at the end of it, that was the end of it. They said, "That's lovely, all over and done with, you're clear." Yeah,
well, which is
absolutely marvellous.
Good for Dave Owen, because he found and caught it in time. Of course, a lot of men don't. How complicated is the test now?
There isn't a perfect test for prostate cancer, but the worst thing in the world is to ignore it. It's a disease that will affect 1 in 9 men. It does come out of the blue, which is the message that we're trying to get out this month. The men need to be aware of it, and there is an issue about us as men not being great at engaging with our health. There is a blood test that gives an indication of if you've got prostate cancer, but you need to be talking to your doctor about it. If it's caught early, it can be treated and it can be dealt with, as Dave has found out. And Dave's story is a great example, because you are at a higher risk if you have a close family member who has had it. So you should be somebody who's talking to your doctor.
So maybe you should be getting routine testing, should you, Dave? Because you were saying that there were no symptoms as far as you were concerned.
No symptoms whatsoever. No.
So if you're over a certain age and you have risk factors, is that something that should lead?
Well, I think if cancer runs in your family, it's a very good reason for being tested. I mean, my mother died of breast cancer. My sister died of cancer. My sister's daughter died of cancer. My brother had prostate cancer. So it runs all the way through the family, as it were. So you obviously have got the cancer gene, as it were, in you.
Well, Dave mentions family connections. Is there anything to do with sort of lifestyle, diet, exercise, whatever, which can keep it at a lower risk?
Well, historically, there's not been massive investment in prostate cancer research. It's quite odd, because it's the 4th most common cancer in the UK, by far the most common cancer in men. But if you compare it, say, to breast cancer, we've not had the level of investment in the research, and we don't know enough about the lifestyle factors.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's part of that is because it used to be perceived as a disease of old men, and it's something that you die with and not of. We know that's changing, and we know that men are getting it earlier in life. I think it's just something that is now getting better, so we are investing more in it, but research takes a long time to come through. But we know a healthy lifestyle is something that's likely to stop you having the chances of getting it. Being checked is one of the best things that you can do as well, and just engaging in issues about your health, talking to your doctor, talking to your family members about it. The more we talk about it, the more likely we are to catch people early on.
Because Dave, you've always been by nature of business fit and healthy, haven't you?
I was just going to say, I mean, I couldn't have wished to find anybody with a healthier lifestyle than myself, because I had years and years of being a bodybuilder, and then I was a British weightlifting champion, and then I've had a long career of running gymnasiums and health studios and things like this, with no inkling whatsoever that there was any sort of cancer problems.
Okay, just before you go, if you are going to get symptoms, what might those symptoms be?
The most common symptoms of prostate cancer are getting up in the night to go to the loo,
Right.
the possibility of blood in your urine, but as Dave said, it's not always the case that you do have symptoms, and a lot of people who are diagnosed haven't had symptoms. So the fact you haven't had them, if you're over 50, particularly if you've got a family history, go and talk to your doctor.
And the doctor will give you the blood test if you
Yeah,
go
well,
they're
yeah,
over
yeah.
50.
They'll talk about it, and you have the right to a blood test if you are over 50.
Right.
All right, that's great.
Thank
Thanks very
you,
much.
and nice to see you
Lovely.
back
Thank
in
you
full
very much.
health.
It's
Thank
been
you very
lovely
much,
talking to
Dave.
you.
Darth Vader with us on the sofa, right?